Hello, this is Justin Seven with SportsbookReview.com. I'm here to discuss a very interesting dispute in a player versus the Easy Street Casino. One of the things that makes this dispute more interesting is that the person bringing the complaint has a history of chargebacks and casino frauds, which bring to question his credibility. But the facts that I think everyone agrees to: the player made a number of deposits at EasyStreetSports. His first one in this deposit list was provided by Easy Marvin. Was November 30th, and there were about 10 deposits from the end of November through the end of February. On each of these deposits, the player played, among other things, jacks or better in the casino room. After his last deposit, he hit 3 royals at jacks or better, got his balance up to $58,000. He continued playing, lost about another $12,000, so he ended with a $46,000 balance. At that point, Easy Street closed his account and said they wanted to audit his play and make sure that everything was on the up and up. So they closed it. They sent the results to DGS. DGS is the software provider for the casino. DGS reviewed it and they found nothing wrong, no evidence of cheating or software manipulation. At that point, Easy said the player must have been using a robot. They took his $46,000. And the basis for accusing the player of using a robot was, one, according to Easy, the player played 5,848 hands in 326 minutes with perfect strategy. That works out to be almost 18 hands a minute. And the other thing they accused him of was not pausing after he hit his royals, stating that any real person would have stopped playing after they hit the royal. We, being SBR, asked for proof. Easy Street asked for additional time to continue doing tests. No tests were ever made, but they issued this statement. The statement says that the player violated their rule against the use of artificial intelligence robots, or AI software. And in concluding that, they also said that the player perpetrated fraud in over 22 other online gaming communities with 34 various accounts, and this fraud, notably, included software manipulation. It is especially interesting that EasyStreetSports never gave any proof that the player had manipulated software to the casinos. That would have been a fact I would have really liked to see, because if they're going to say he's cheating to get these royals, seeing this evidence of it occurring in another casino would be very relevant. But EasyStreetSports never produced any evidence to support any of their claims that Corey disputed. Now, Corey admitted that he played fast, maybe as fast as almost 18 hands a minute, and the question is that conclusive proof that it must have been a robot? 5 other posters I read in the forums have a lot of experience playing video poker. They included Fishhead, PD77, Grand Slam, WVU, and Santo. All of them concluded that under the environment which EasyStreetSports was running their casino, that is, with auto hold, which holds winning hands automatically, and a fast deal setup, which EasyStreetSports was using, that an experienced jacks or better player could definitely play at that speed. Curiously enough, there weren't any experienced jacks or better players out there who said that this was not possible. Now, what about playing 326 minutes straight with perfect strategy, as Easy claimed? Well, it turned out that that didn't happen. Easy Street made this allegation. They finally, 4 weeks after this dispute began, produced some of the game logs. Now, the longest session in the game logs was about 2 hours. If you look at how long it took him to play all those hands, it was a lot longer than 5 hours because there were breaks in there. Now, another interesting thing is the hand history they produced did not show the cards that he was dealt or kept and were redrawn, so you can't tell if the player played with basic strategy. EasyStreetSports later admitted that it didn't look at most of the hands to consider whether or not he was playing with perfect strategy, so that claim ended up just being a speculation that they stated as a fact. Now, what about their statement that the player didn't pause after hitting any of his royals, that any real person would have stopped? Well, what the game log showed was that he would play 1 or 2 more hands and then stop. So it's kind of misleading, the statements Easy has made in support of their claim here, when everything was pretty much refuted by their own evidence. Now, if a player is going to use a bot, he's going to have a reason. It costs money to either acquire a bot or program your own bot, and anyone who's using a bot is doing this because they think they're going to win money doing that. And there are 3 reasons Corey might have wanted to use a bot at this casino. The first is he was planning on doing a chargeback. Say he deposits money. If he loses, he contests the deposit and gets his money back. That theory doesn't work in this case, though. All of his deposits were done by cash. That is, MoneyGram or Western Union, so that he really couldn't do a chargeback. And it's, you wouldn't keep depositing time and time again over consecutive days if you're going to do a chargeback. What about, is Corey a bonus whore? Bonus whoring would be a very possible explanation here, because EasyStreetSports was offering a 100% bonus in the casino with any deposit. So, for example, say you deposit $250, your account starts with $500 in the casino, and there's only a 25 times rollover. Now, if you play perfect strategy on jacks or better, the household is only about 0.5%. If you churn that, your balance 25 times over, you're going to lose about 12.5%, of your balance. So the 100% bonus is worth more than what you're going to lose churning it. And in addition, EasyStreetSports has a rebate on your loss. You get 5% of your total losses given back to you as a casino bonus. So, for example, you put in $250. Now you have $500 after the bonus. If you blow out that $500, you get another $25 bonus to play again. So what this means is you have a fantastic game to play where the players actually expected to win. And if Corey wasn't the one who beat them out of it, somebody else would have. So the question is this what Corey was doing? Is there anything that suggests he wasn't? Well, there is. If you're going to do bonus whoring, you generally stop playing as soon as you've met your rollover. Now, EasyStreetSports told me that he played way, way past his rollover. And in fact, when he played and he got his balance up to $60,000, he probably should have quit playing after the first or second royal once his rollover was met. But he kept playing, and that's not consistent with somebody who's a bonus whore. That's more consistent with somebody who's a degenerate gambler. Now, here's another reason. The third possible reason is that Corey was manipulating their software. The player Corey1111 had some kind of special bot that could hack into their server or reverse engineer their random number generator or do something that gives him an advantage where he's going to win money long term. There's a couple, there's one big problem with this theory though. DGS reviewed the play and they found nothing wrong. So what this means is the player had no reason to use a bot. He had nothing to gain from using a bot under the facts that we see here. So we have two things. There's no proof a bot was used. Even if there were circumstantial things that suggest a bot was used, there's no reason to. So, that would be like saying a person is committing tax evasion when they have no income. It just doesn't make sense. So, no reasonable person could conclude that there was a bot used here. Until this situation is resolved, which I take it as Easy Street paying the player his balance, I would not touch this. I've seen two other situations where a casino just outright made up crap to justify seizing a player's balance from a casino. Heroes Casino did this. They stole $35,000 from a player, and this was a warning sign that they didn't have the money to operate, and they eventually went bankrupt. Same thing with Bet Superior, Bet Sportsweb. Player beat him out of the casino for a little over $100,000. They made up a justification for not paying him. I ruled against both of those casinos in the past, and to no one's surprise, that both those books went under. What's going to happen here with Easy Street? I don't know. If they do the right thing, if they have the money to pay the player, they should do that. If they don't have the money to pay the player, it doesn't matter what we think, they can't pay him, and we'll see how long they operate. This is Justin7. If you have any other questions, feel free to send me an email.